Claude Opus 5 shipped, and every video about it is a scoreboard. Benchmarks, pricing, who beat whom this week. The thing that will actually break your app is something almost nobody is covering. When Opus 5 declines a request, it does not return an error. It returns a 200. Okay, success. With a refusal sitting inside it. A refusal returns 200. Okay. First, the facts, with their sources attached, because on launch week, that distinction matters. Anthropic says Opus 5 comes close to Fable 5's frontier intelligence at half the price. It costs $5 per million tokens in, 25 out, exactly the same as Opus 4.8. So the price didn't move. What you get for it did. And some of that is independently checked. The ARC Prize Foundation confirms 30.2% on ARC AGI3. Zapier's CEO reports a 100% pass rate on a churn sequence that earlier models failed. Cursor's co-founder calls it near Fable 5 intelligence. Box reports 8% better overall, 17% on due diligence work. One to keep honest, though? The Frontier bench number everyone is quoting? That's Anthropic's own internal run. Their words, not mine. It might well be right. It just isn't independent, and those are different things. When a safety classifier blocks a request, the API returns 200, not a 403, not a 500. 200, the same status code as a perfect answer. The refusal lives in the body. There's a field called stop reason, and it reads refusal. Alongside it, stop details tells you what kind: a type, a short explanation, and a category. There are 3 categories: cyber, bio, and reasoning extraction. And Anthropic's own guidance on handling it is unusually blunt. I'll quote it exactly. Branch your logic on stop reason, not on content or stop details. That one sentence is worth more to you than every benchmark in the launch. Think about how error handling actually gets written. You make the call, and you ask one question. Did it work? If the status is 200, it worked. Carry on. So the refusal walks straight through your happy path. Your code treats empty or partial content as a real answer and passes it downstream. Into the summary you're generating, the record you're writing, the reply you're sending. Nothing throws. Nothing gets logged. Your monitoring dashboard shows a clean 200 and a healthy service. If you've been watching this channel, you know this shape. It's the same silent failure we keep running into. The system reports success while doing nothing useful, and you find out when a customer does. The story going around is that Opus 5 silently downgrades you to Opus 4.8 when the classifiers fire. I went and read Anthropic's own documentation, and that is not what happens. Fallback is opt-in, and it's per request. Their words, there is no account level or session level switch. You set it on every single call, or it isn't on. And this line settles it. A call that doesn't turn on fallbacks returns a refusal instead of silently retrying on the fallback model. So by default, you get told no. You do not get quietly handed a weaker answer. That's a meaningfully better design than the rumour, and worth saying plainly. If you do want it, there are 2 ways. Server-side, where you pass a list of fallback models with your request, or client-side middleware, which is what you'll need on Bedrock, Vertex, or the Batches API. The response tells you, if you look in the right place. That place is usage.iterations. It's an array, and it's the receipt for the turn. On a fallback, you'll see 2 entries. The model you asked for, with 0 output tokens, and then a fallback message entry naming Opus 4.8 with the tokens that actually produced your answer. Anthropic calls it the best way to check whether a turn was served by a fallback model. There's also a marker in the content stream showing the switch point. But if you're streaming, don't rely on that. Check iterations on the final message. That's the one that's reliable in every case. The billing here is genuinely thoughtful, and mostly in your favor. If a request is blocked outright, classifier says no, nothing generated. Your input tokens aren't billed at all. And when it does fall back, the input isn't charged at full price either. It's billed as a cache read, 10% of the base input rate. A cache read just means the system already had those tokens, so it charges you a fraction. One catch, and it's the kind that costs money quietly. Server-side fallback applies that discount automatically. Client-side, you have to redeem something called a fallback credit token with a specific beta header within 5 minutes from the same organization and workspace and with your system prompt, messages, and tools identical to the blocked call. Miss any one of those and you pay full freight on the retry. One number deserves a second look. ARC-AGI3 is the test built specifically to resist memorization, problems the model cannot have seen. Opus 5 scores 30.2%, verified by the ARC Prize Foundation, and that's roughly 4 times the previous leader. That is a genuinely remarkable jump, and humans score 100. Both of those are true at once. It's a real leap on a hard test, and it's still a model that misses most genuinely novel problems. The first fact is the one that makes the headlines. The second is the one that matters when you point it at something nobody has solved before. 3 things. 1. Branch on stop reason. Not on the status code, not on whether content came back. That single change catches every refusal you'll ever get. 2. If you turn on fallback, read usage.iterations, because that is the only authoritative answer to which model served your request. 3. Know your billing path. Blocked input is free, fallback input is 10%, and if you're client side, that credit has a 5-minute clock on it. The benchmarks will be old news within a month. The response contract is what you'll be living with every day. A refusal returns 200, so build like it. Thanks for watching. If this changed how you handle a response, pass it to someone whose error handling checks the status code and stops there. Subscribe to AI Tech Book, where we go deep on the things that quietly break production. And keep the one line from today. A refusal returns 200,